We invited him. But that doesn't mean we have to trust him. And if you actually want to trust the people of this country, the best way to do it is to speak directly to them without filters. I'll share with you what my perspectives are. Coming out of some of those meetings with members of the Haitian community, leaders from that community, city officials, here's my takeaway. There's about 70,000 people now in Springfield. And by the way, people ask me, why do you come to Springfield? One of the media networks, MSNBC last night, said, I'm descending on Springfield to do this event. So I guess it's a fair question. Why are you here in Springfield? I grew up an hour from here. I live less than an hour from here now. I actually spent a lot of time in Springfield growing up. Anybody been to Mike and Rosie's? Okay. I've had more subs there, probably most of you here. We used to play in Wittenberg every summer, had a tennis program I would participate in. I've got aunts, uncles that have lived here, still live here. So this is close to home for me. And if an issue of national significance is happening in my backyard, no, I'm not going to turn my back. I want to actually see what we can do that's positive for this community. But one of the things I've learned, here's my view, is that I don't actually blame any of the 70,000 people in Springfield for the mess in Springfield. That includes the 50,000 people like my family members or others of you who have lived here for a long time or for generations. After meeting with a bunch of them today, I don't even blame the 12 to 20,000, most of them certainly, I don't blame most of them, the Haitian migrants who were brought here by unconscionable means. I blame the federal policies that are responsible for what's going on in this city. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about it in an unfiltered way. People are angry. Let's acknowledge that. You're not going to deny, you're not going to fix that problem by saying, don't be angry. That doesn't work. You're going to acknowledge the reason why people are angry. Here's some hard facts, right? This is not narrative. It's not fanning flames, it's just fact, okay? Hard facts are, this is a city with twice the poverty level of the national average. This is a city where since 2020, in the last several years, sometimes in the last couple of years, you've had carjackings and car thefts go up by 50%. You've had shoplifting go up by 100%. You have seen a rise in communicable diseases. That's real. Those are facts. They're not deniable. The traffic-related incidents, those aren't quantifiable, or maybe they are, but I don't have the facts on that. But undoubtedly, there have been some wounds in this community dating back to last year. And out of respect to the family, I'm not going to go into the details of it, but I know this community has been through a lot. And so we're not going to sweep that under the rug. But the question is, how do we channel that anger to actually do what's right, both for Springfield and for this country? So I have a bias. I'll put it on the table at the beginning. And I shared this with the Haitian groups I met with earlier today, too. We got to ask the question of what is the right legal immigration policy to this country. I'm dead set against illegal immigration. If your first act of entering this country breaks the law, you should not be able to enter this country, okay? That's not debatable. Yeah. I say that as the kid of legal immigrants to this country. My parents came to Cincinnati 40 some odd years ago, legally, the right way through the front door. Your first act of entering break the law. And so if we've had the largest influx of illegal immigrants in American history, that stands to reason we should have the largest mass deportation of immigrants in American history, because that's what it means to stand for the rule of law. And that's not racist or xenophobic. That's what it means to stand for the rule of law in the United States of America. The issue in this community, I will admit, is a little tougher than that, right? Because
and I'm hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen. And I'm hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or a law enforcement officer. San Antonio Police very aptly named their law enforcement effort Operation Aurora, because Aurora was the one that was first and got all that publicity. Operation Aurora. In honor of Jocelyn Nungari, Laken Riley, beautiful Laken, Rachel Morin, and all of the others that are dead and or mortally wounded at the hands of migrants who should never have been allowed into our country. I'm announcing today that upon taking office, we will have an Operation Aurora at the federal level. To expedite the removals of these savage gangs, and I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Think of that. 1798. This was put there. 1798. That's a long time ago, right? To target and dismantle every migrant criminal network operating on American soil. We will send elite squads of ICE, Border Patrol, and federal law enforcement officers to hunt down, arrest, and deport every last illegal alien gang member until there is not a single one left in this country. And if they come back into our country, they will be told it is an automatic 10-year sentence in jail with no possibility of parole. And I'm hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or a law enforcement officer.
A town of just 58,000, now at the center of the migrant crisis, with at least 15,000 Haitians arriving since 2020, now forcing the state to send state troopers in and set aside millions of dollars to deal with the crisis. Our next guest has lived in Springfield for more than 30 years and says it's no longer feels like her home. Diana Daniels joins us now. So Diana, according to the reports, the schools have been overrun, the clinics have been overrun, and now a lot of jobs has been taken as well. What is life like there now?
It's like living in a dystopian nightmare. You hope you wake up and it's 2019 again, and then you realize it's 2024, and it's the same thing over and over again, day after day. It's hard sometimes to get up in the morning and hear residents that I've known for years struggle. This is a paycheck to paycheck kind of town, working class, and the citizens that depend on our social services, like healthcare, a rocking horse, going down to the Social Security office for benefits, are waiting in line, and they're not getting the services they need. And it breaks my heart to see people that I taught and their children experiencing this. So I took it upon myself to make sure that I showed up at every city commission meeting pleading our case. And if it took, something like this to get the spotlight flashed on us, then so be it. We've needed help, but for several years, and maybe we're going to finally get it. The sad thing is it's more of my money being spent on a problem that we did not create.
So Diana, let's talk about that, because you take great umbrage with some of the characterizations that people tried to make about you and people in your town, saying that you're hateful people just because you're bringing attention to the issue.
And some of those comments are being made by people that I've known for many years, and that's probably the hardest thing to deal with. Because the city has always been a close-knit community. We have pockets of neighborhoods, and what's happening is a disruption of the smaller neighborhoods, and it has never been a race issue. It's about color. It's not about color. It's about culture. Your once close-knit community has now been changed, and there are people in your neighborhood that you don't know, that don't speak your language, that live a different lifestyle from you, and it's going to cause some tension, but it is a different culture that we're dealing with. And I've tried to push that issue, but it's not helpful when our own city government has printed those very comments in city documents.
Who do you blame for
the
this?
Challenges that Springfield faces is race.
I apologize, Diana, but who do you blame for this issue? Because we got a national election coming up, and there is one person that is control of the border, and that's the commander-in-chief. And he sets the policy for that through the Homeland Security Secretary. His vice president wants to be the next president. Who do you hold accountable for this surge of migrants that are now in your community?
Well, it certainly is a top down. It's also a bottom up.
Hmm.
So how did Springfield get the target put on its back for this many Haitians? And don't forget, we also had a surge of Hispanics from 2014 on. How did that happen? And that's what a team and I have been investigating for the last year, is the why. Why did this happen to us? Who was responsible? How did that happen? And then follow the money. And it's very difficult with our limited resources to tease that out, but it is from the top down, but it's also from the bottom up.
Yeah, it's such a valid point. Diana, I hope things gets better. We'll continue reporting on this story. Thank you so much.
I'm Steve.
Like a nuclear. They let in 3,500 Haitians. The place looks like a nuclear bomb.
The top floor, the classes would literally be filled with Haitians. Every single classroom. No white people, no nothing. It was just Haitians.
America need people, man. America need people because
across America, there has been a sudden influx of Haitian migrants being dropped off into small towns. And after rumors and videos of Haitian migrants eating pets in Springfield, Ohio, and then Donald Trump saying on national television,
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
I wanted to give you an inside look as to how hundreds of thousands of Haitian migrants have entered into small communities across America. In this video, I'll be visiting 2 countries and 3 states across America to really show how all this happened and how communities are being affected from this influx of Haitian migrants. Due to gangs taking over the country and the economy of Haiti, it is now estimated that 1 out of 25 Haitians are now living in the United States. And it has been proven and admitted by the current government that they have flown in over 400,000 illegal immigrants into the country using the CBP One app. But what is the CBP One app? Let's let Joe Biden explain.
If they're seeking asylum, they can use an app on their cell phone called CBP One, O-N-E.
It's reported that over 60 million requests have been sent through that app. However, in order to use the app, a migrant has to arrive in Mexico and then they can apply. I visited Mexico earlier in the year to see what was actually happening, and this Haitian migrant explained exactly how the process works. How are the migrants getting here from Haiti?
Some of them come directly from Haiti. Some of them were in Brazil. Others were in French Guiana. Then they have decided to enter first Mexico so that they can enter the United States of America. Because, the president has come with 2 different programs that help immigrants to enter the United States. And that's almost all their dream to enter the United States.
So all the migrants love Joe Biden.
That's their best ever president.
Are the migrants worried if Donald Trump wins the election?
That would be a nightmare for them if Trump wins that election.
While I was in Mexico, I went inside of these migrant encampments that were controlled by the cartels, and eventually I was even kicked out as a beer bottle was thrown at my head.
And right here, just doing our way to go to the United States of America. There are bad people, good people right here. The reason why we avoid just to talk with.
So are there a lot of bad people here?
Yes.
Are you guys also waiting for your CBP One app right now?
Yes, we are waiting for our CBP, our money.
And where are the majority of these people from?
They're from Venezuela, and IT. We have a lot of people from IT.
And do you hope that your life will be better in the United States, or what's your plans? As these migrants wait for their appointment via the CBP One app, they have to live inside these inhumane camps like these ones here in Mexico City. However, if they do not receive an appointment, they eventually do cross the border. But if they are given the appointment, they are then given a date. They need to show up at a border or at a location in Mexico where they are then flown into the United States. And most recently, in a small town in Pennsylvania with a population of around 4,000, they received over 1,000 Haitian migrants that suddenly appeared in the city, and it is now just coming out in the news.
They let in 3,500 Haitians. The place looks like a nuclear bomb.
What can you tell us about the city of Charleroi?
Well, it has a rich heritage. It goes way back. We make glass here. There's other businesses. Currently, we're getting like immigrants here.
Yeah, how come Charleroi has been receiving a large amount of Haitian migrants?
Just the way it worked out.
How do you guys feel about all the migrants coming into the city?
Well, everyone been talking to me about it, but they're more than welcome here. Everyone I run across, they work, they go to church, they pay their bills. I don't know where all the negativity is coming from.
In the main street in town, I found some of the Haitian migrants that had set up their own stores, and I tried to speak to some of them, but none of them spoke English. We're down here in downtown Charleroi. What's interesting, we just walked into this store right here. 3 Haitians, none of them speak English. But then if you come to this street right here, what's even more interesting is this one says Virgo by Western Union. Western Union is a way for people to send money to other countries. And so what they are doing is they have all these shops that are set up here where they're able to make money here inside the United States and then go to a place like Western Union and send that money back to their country in Haiti. And this is another store here on the main street where they can transfer money over to other countries like Haiti. How long have you been here for?
I have 2 months. Do you speak Spanish?
Sí, hablo español. So I speak Spanish, he speaks Spanish as well. ¿Y cómo llegaste aquí?
¿Cómo llegaste aquí? Con visa.
Con visa.
Yeah.
Pero aplicación CBP1.
Esa cosa un poquito personal, disculpe. No puede responderle ese tipo de palabras, pero es un poco personal.
Cuando llegaste aquí en avión a los Estados Unidos?
Aquí sí, con avión.
¿Y cómo supiste que podría venir aquí a Charleroi?
Viene aquí porque antes llega en Pittsburgh, de aeropuerto, entrar aquí porque antes tengo un amigo gringo que vive aquí.
Okay.
Un americano.
So your gringo friend told you to come here to Charleroi.
Yes, yeah.
¿Has ido bien aquí en Charleroi?
Sí, sí, estoy bien aquí, poquito. No sé por qué tiene tanto para hablar negativo ahora. Yo escuché mucha gente que habla, dice que aquí tiene tanto para hablar, dice que los americanos no quieren ver los inmigrantes que viven aquí, pero todavía no lo vi eso aquí.
¿Es la verdad que el gobierno les da dinero cuando llegaste aquí?
Normalmente yo creo que cuando la gente viene aquí, si la persona tiene plata, dinero, para vivir igual que viene. Yo creo que sí. Para mí, yo creo que sí.
And when the Haitians come in here, are they using money from the government, or is it like a card from the government, or are they giving like physical cash?
Physical, not like they work, so yeah, physical sometimes, but it's usually like EBT. So when the government tries to help them, that's what they usually give.
And are you able to see how much money is on the back of the EBT cards after you process it?
Only like through transactions like these.
And how much money do you see on these EBT cards?
Well, I don't really know because it kind of depends on everything. Because I usually see like hundreds, usually sometimes like not able to buy anything. But it really just like depends on how much the government actually like sees how much they need and then they would give them.
So the government does like just give them like X amount of money, like a few $100s every now.
I have no idea.
So a lot.
What's up, everybody? So I find that it's very important when people go out into the world and they ask these questions when the news is telling us that it's fake news, that there is no invasion, that they're not eating the dogs and cats, that, geese, who cares about the geese? But what about these other things that people have been talking about, the money that these people are getting, the programs, resources, benefits, tangibles, the actual factuals of it all? What about that stuff? Because I don't find a lot of people saying that stuff isn't happening as much as they like to take the polarizing thing, the one that makes you feel the worst or the best, depending on who you are, and use that. They run with that. The Donald is not the best person to give some actual factuals. He likes to exaggerate a lot, but when Border Patrol, citizens, when people who are in the thick of it are having something to say, what then? Is it still fake news? This guy, what's his name? Oh, I don't remember what his name is. This guy, his name is, well, you can't see it on the screen anymore, but this guy right here, he went around the country, went to 3 big cities that has had an invasion and just asked some questions. I find that the answers are very telling.
A lot of these migrants have came into these small towns like Charleroi because apparently these cities are not doing well. And so they figured, well, if we bring in all these migrants here, we can maybe start something fresh here in the economy of these small towns like Charleroi. How long have you been here for?
3 years.
3 years?
Mm-hmm.
And are people upset with all the migrants that have came here into the city?
No, never see that.
How do you feel about all the other migrants that recently came into Charleroi?
I feel good because they come in to put the city going on before you can make like 400 1 week now is better than 400. You see, America changed, everything changed, man. So the immigrant help this country.
Yeah.
They really help the country.
The immigrants help this country. That's what he said. He said the immigrants help the country. And that's why you've got people saying that America is the land of the immigrants. It's very strange.
I don't see nothing bad here. Nothing bad. Everything's slow down. Your people, my people, Spanish people, African people.
For anyone who has developed a brain or spinal tumor after using birth control shots, this is extreme.
Asian people, Nepal people, a lot of people here, but it's like for like 14 nations here in Charleroi.
And do you think the United States of America should keep allowing migrants to come into small towns like Charleroi?
America need people, man. America need people because we work, when we come in here, we work 7 a day. So it's not something we come in to be lazy.
How entitled? America needs people to work 7, 8 days. First of all, it's only 7 days in a week, sir. And second of all, how dare people who are not supposed to be here come over here talking about that they're not lazy and they will do the things. They'll do the hard thing, the easy thing, the soft thing, whatever thing, so that they can get the benefits, resources, tangibles that are being offered to them. But I'm sorry, I thought America had a homelessness problem. I thought America had a problem where they weren't actually giving any benefits to the people who fought in the wars, you know, the vets, people who have put their life on the line for America. I thought that those were the problems that America was suffering from, because I don't know that America has a job problem. I don't know that we are a country that doesn't have jobs, as much as there are a few companies, a lot of companies, who don't want to pay. They don't want to give benefits. They don't want to raise minimum wage. They don't really want things to make sense. The math ain't mathin', y'all. And across the board, people have said, well, if you're not going to pay me a livable wage, then fuck you and your job. Disrespectfully, of course. And, well, those companies said, fine, fuck me, fine. How about fuck you? I will go out and I will seek illegals. I will go to Home Depot and find the people who are standing out in front that don't speak English. I will make sure that I have a translator available for these people who don't speak English. And that way they will be able to get over on the people. You know, it's funny how some of these people are a little blurred out. Some of these people not blurred out. Some of them are very comfortable saying whatever it is that they want to say. Some people are very comfortable doing the things. I mean, this guy's been here for 3 years and he said that America's changed. It used to be $400 a week. Now it's different.
You know, we help the country, man. We help the town.
Do any of the migrants receive money from the government once they arrive here into Charleroi?
Yeah, the government helps a little bit.
And what do they help with?
SNAP food, from ABT. So I don't know. I just got help from ABT, but a lot of people got different help. You feel me?
How much money does the government give to some of the migrants?
In Florida, I remember when I was in Florida, Miami, they give me 700. You feel me? So when I'm coming here, it's coming down to 291. So it's some food money.
Okay, so they give you money for food only.
Yeah, but you pay that too when you start working. You pay it back. You pay everything by tax. So.
Okay, yeah, with taxes, right?
Yeah, I pay everything. And Medicare, all is like 200 tax every fucking week. So.
All right. So this person who's not from here, who's not used to paying taxes, they're talking about, well, we have to pay back all this money that we've gotten from the government. We have to pay it back in Social Security, Medicare tax. Man, if they don't get the fuck out of here with all of that. I've been paying taxes on my paycheck since I was 17 years old. Some of y'all who've been working a little bit longer than me have been paying taxes longer than that. And we're not paying back anything that we've already received. So I don't know what type of funny math homeboy is used to, but that is the American way. You can't come over here and then be mad at how things are done with your hand out. I mean, shit, it'd be different if you didn't have your hand out and you wanted to change things. But no, you have both hands out, your mouth is open. You want us to feed you, clothe you, house you, shelter you, protect you from the boogeyman, and give you a job. So what? You know, at a time where Kamala wants us to be unburdened by things, it sounds like we're picking up a few burdens. I don't know that we're being unburdened. How do you unburden yourself by adding more shit to the pot? I just don't understand. And then some of y'all are about to go vote for it if you haven't already voted for it.
So that's why we use it.
As black folks, you know what I'm saying? Okay, there's another race coming in, and okay, they want to be more superior than them, and they want, hold on, they get government assistance, and government won't give us assistance. So I see a lot of jealousy and enviousness going on. I ain't see these people messing with nobody. They mind their own business.
And I let them talk, let them talk. Everybody has a voice, sure. Everybody has an opinion, of course they do. But are all opinions, do they all weigh the same? I don't think they should. This guy supposedly is a Black American. He's talking about jealousy. I'm not jealous of a person who's not supposed to be here getting things that I'm supposed to get. No, I just think that it's very strange that you can just break the law and get paid for it. I just find it very strange that there are laws on the books about how to enter the country the right way, and people don't have to do that anymore. I find it very strange that not only do you not have to follow the rules, but you'll get put ahead of the actual citizens who pay the taxes. All of these public servants, people who are making decisions for us, these elected officials, work for us, and they're paying people who are not supposed to be here to come here and do things that we've said, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. How am I going to be happy when you're not paying me a livable wage? That's strange. If there are any Black Americans using government assistance, it's because it is available to them as citizens. That is part of the program. That is American capitalism. They have policies in place and programs in place for the citizens who aren't quite making it happen, right? So fuck y'all for thinking that if I don't make enough money that I'm not supposed to be using these government programs, when white women who are baby mamas in multiples are using SNAP and EBT and Medicaid and TANF. That's the cash money that the government gives for people who are not working. These people have been on government assistance for 50 plus years in record numbers. Yet Black America said, y'all are not going to stigmatize and stereotype us. And a lot of us got off of government assistance. It's so strange. White people will say, well, didn't you get food stamps when you was growing up? Didn't you get WIC when your mama was pregnant? So how dare you ask for reparations? No, we're not asking, we're demanding, and politely, might I add. But in our very polite demand are people coming over here, and not only are they also demanding, but they're saying, well, who cares about the American citizens because we're not lazy. We'll work 7 days a week. Do y'all remember a couple of years ago? I want to say it was right at the beginning of the experiments of 2020. Amazon was working niggas to death. I mean, actually working people to death. There was all sorts of exposés and documentaries and insider editions and whistleblower affidavits talking about Amazon's working us and we don't get time with our family and we have to work 3 days on and 1 day off and I never have time and my back and then Amazon came out and said, well, we're not actually a company that wants you to be here for the rest of your life. No, we want the college students. We want the people who are in transition. We only really want you to work here for about 2 years and then carry your ass. Amazon said, if you want to stay here, then we'll even help you go to school. We will pay for you to get some professional development so that you can mosey on up to management And some people took advantage of that. What I find is that the people who are benefiting the most are the people who are not supposed to be here. Look, I saw a goddamn Amazon 24-hour delivery now. I know it was a joke, but this motherfucker was on the curb. Literally was driving on the curb talking about how am I supposed to give you curbside delivery if I don't drive on the curb? If you don't get your non-driving ass off the road. How many Haitians have caused a car accident in the past month? And no, it's not just Haitians, because I find that here where I live in Virginia, I don't see a lot of Haitians. I see a lot of like Mexicans and straight Spanish speaking white people who don't follow the traffic pattern. You know, if it is a melanated person, I find that those are the continental Africans, people who come from dirt roads and shitholes who don't know how to follow the traffic patterns. I've seen so many people stopping at green lights. I mean, it's almost like they want people to run into the back of them, but shit, even if you didn't, or if you did, or if they ran into you, they're not getting the same consequences. Literally was in traffic court the other day, and the judge might have been the nicest judge in all of Norfolk, but this man let so many people off. And a lot of the people that got let off didn't speak English. How do I know? They had translators. So while the cops said, yeah, Jose was speaking perfect English up until I told him, that he was getting a ticket for these open bottles and for driving up the wrong way of the interstate and almost causing an accident. Now Jose don't speak English anymore. And I don't know where they do that at. Where can you go on the planet and not follow the law of the land and not get in trouble? I mean, shit, we can't even go over to Dubai and show some ankle or some wrists without having to worry about things. I've seen so many different things of, Black people just trying to live their best life. They got some money, they traveling, they going around the world, and don't go to a country where women are not allowed to do things, because you go over there with your entitled American self, with your Americanized way of things, and then you find out very quickly that the rest of the world doesn't operate like America does. And then, oh shit, do you have any recourse? Do you have any playback? Do you get any justice? Did y'all see, was it Nicki Minaj that got arrested in Germany? She's all, I'm not going anywhere without my lawyer. And then German police officers were like, bitch, you're not in America. That's not how we do things over here. And they straight arrested her. I want to say it was Nicki Minaj. Maybe it was somebody else. But it's definitely a female Black melanated rapper from over here. Not Black American, but just, melanated. And I want to say that they had some marijuana with them or something like that. And you can't travel like that. Not really. It's so freaking crazy that people think that they can take their rules and practices on the road. No, you're on tour. But you got to follow the law of the land. I mean, really, if you were to go to a country that says you're not allowed to talk like that, and you have songs that have words that they don't like in there, you probably are not going to be able to perform that song. Not without like an extreme somebody giving some permissions.
Business, they doing their own thing.
I don't think anyone's saying these people are bad people. I think the people are just upset, like you just said right now, that you feel like they're taking over and getting the resources that you should be getting, right?
Right. Well, I'm there getting the resources too. I mean, I guess they out there for whoever want to get them. But at the same time, I understand what people are saying about that. But it's not them that's doing it. It's the government and it's the companies. Because they can pay them lower money to work for them versus giving them, I guess, what they want to pay us.
And what kind of benefits are the migrants?
The guy that's on the screen right now, this Black guy who was saying that we're jealous. I can't sit here and say that what he just said was inaccurate, because it's not. It's not the little people that are breaking the law without any help. It's these mega billion-dollar companies. He probably does have a Mexican laying up at his crib, Dark Knight. Look, it's so strange that we can have these conversations about the problems, and then people will say, yeah, I agree that there's problems, but we have to vote for the first Black woman president. Let me tell you this right now. If the person running for president was a Black American female, let's just say it was like Michelle Obama, right? She's Black American, she's female, I think, probably. Okay. Let's just say it was a Black American female running for president. If she were not talking Black, if she did not have a Black agenda, if she wasn't speaking about our reparative justice, she would also not be getting the vote. So it's not just about their color. It is about what the fuck are they talking about? What are their programs? What are their policies? What type of plan do they have for America? Because Kamala's plan says, well, we're going to make an economic opportunity, y'all. And Donald's plan said, I want to go back to antebellum times. And as much as I think that Donald is a real life troll, I mean, like an actual factual troll, he probably comes from somebody's under the bridge area. I can't say that there aren't white people who have been very loud and proud about agreeing with him. There was one podcaster, female, white woman, who was talking about she agrees that if Alabama decides to reenact slavery, or reconstitute, basically make slavery legal, then she'd be all for it. And the people that were interviewing her were so embarrassed and kind of afraid that she was just unapologetic about these things. And I'm like, no, say it with your whole chest. We need to know who you are. We need to know that there are people out there like you, because when the shit hits the fan, some of y'all are gone already. And it'll be to people like her, because you'll think that because you and her have babies in the same second grade class and she brought some cupcakes to the PTA meeting and she's always been so nice. They've always been so nice. I can't believe that they would do this. They've always been so nice. Okay. Yeah. Y'all keep being nice. Keep ignoring the signs. Red flags are attractive to some of y'all.
Migrants getting once they come here to the town?
From the government, they probably getting money from the government. I mean, from what I heard, I mean, they give them tens of thousands of dollars, you know what I'm saying, and help them get properties and jobs and cars. And we trying to figure out, I mean, well, how's they driving when they can't read or understand the language too much?
They cause a lot of car crashes here?
There's been a couple. There's been a few. Yeah, they done ran in somebody's house and everything.
And while we are on the topic of car accidents, I want to tell you about the sponsor of this video, Morgan & Morgan. When you're seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions. And Morgan & Morgan, they don't sell for any lowball offers. They've achieved significant verdicts in the past couple of months for victims involved in life-altering car crashes. For instance, in Florida, they helped the client receive $12 million, which was 34 times the highest insurance offer. And in Philadelphia, they helped the client receive $26 million, which was 40 times the highest insurance offer. And the greatest part is the fee is absolutely free unless you win. If you've ever got seriously injured, your case could be worth millions of dollars, and you're only a few clicks away.
If you're taking anatomy and physiology for the first time, I can guarantee it's not like any course that you've ever taken. And that's why so many students
Met a family who decided to spill all the information about what is actually happening in Springfield, Ohio. I know you guys have probably seen the news, everything like that. Do you guys believe the rumors to be true?
Yeah.
Have you guys personally ever seen anybody eating a cat or a dog here?
I seen a Haitian carrying a goose by its neck. And then we seen a van with like a whole bunch of cats in it.
Really?
And a Haitian driving it. It was a white van.
Really?
Full of cats.
How have you guys had any friends or family that have had their pets gone missing?
Yes. My aunt.
Can you tell us about that?
So she used to have this cat, and then so it's like an outside cat. And then next thing you know, give it about a week or two, it's gone missing, and we check her cameras, and someone's took it. And it was a Haitian carrying it down the road.
The school is like, I would say about like, I don't even know, like 50% of the schools, or maybe a little bit more, are Haitians. For the past couple of years, like they're filling the classrooms up, and we don't have the translators to help the teachers, and they're just really disrespectful. I mean, the footage got taken down, but before Christmas break, there's two Haitians got caught fighting in the stairway.
At school.
Yes, at school. There was video. Another thing, the age limit to go to school is 21.
Yeah.
And there'd be 21-year-olds in freshman classes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's not okay. That's not okay because I'm not saying all of them, but some of my friends have literally got violated by the.
Yeah, this part where these children are talking, these young people, I think that's really messed up, right? How do you have a 21-year-old in the freshman class? They don't even speak English. I mean, are we making the same set-asides for American children? People who have been left behind? I thought they said no child left behind, right? And then, well, we're not even leaving adults behind at this point. Everybody is entitled to a FAPE. That's a free and appropriate public education. That is the public school system. I'm with the Donald. We need to probably abolish the Department of Education if they're going to be treasonous like this. If there are people who are not from here who need that FAPE, then maybe they need to open a new school. What happened to night school? Right? One of my parents went to night school. There's nothing wrong with night school, but it is where you would be when the math ain't mathin' with your age. You know, say you said fuck school this year and you just decided to play hooky. And then, well, okay, can't say fuck school. I want to graduate. I want to better myself. I want to be all I can be. God damn it. And then, okay, I got to go back to school. Got to get my GED, maybe. What happened to the GEDs? Are those non-existent anymore too? Or are all of these things that we've had to do to make the playing field as level as we can make it, those people don't have to go through the same thing? I mean, literally, I remember and recall a time that I wasn't here where we had to walk around with papers, because if you didn't, your ass could get sold into slavery. And shit, sometimes you had papers and your ass still got sold into slavery. You said, fuck your papers, ripped them shits up, and now you enslaved. Yes, Dark Knight, they used to have ESL schools. I don't know what happened to the schools, but I know that before I stopped working in public education, the ESL was now in the classroom. And like this girl on the screen said, they have translators. Schools hire translators for, essentially, it's not for the students. It's supposed to be for the parents, because most of the time the students speak English just fine. And their parents, who are illegal, don't speak any English. So the translator is there to help correspond between what's going on in school and, home. I don't think that they have ESL schools anymore. As much as I have seen a bunch of schools open up that seem to only be for one demographic. There was one school, oh, damn, I cannot remember the name of the school. It used to be a black school. Straight up and down, it used to be for blacks. They shut the school down, and now it's open for Hispanic people. Literally is titled Hispanic Academia. No, that's not what it's called, but it's like a Spanish name school. They didn't even take the black school's name off the wall. They just put a banner up under that said, the new name of the school. And all of the students there, not from here. And apparently we asked for it. Every time you vote blue, no matter who, you've asked for this shit.
By them and harassed.
So their 21-year-olds are inside the high schools.
Yes. It's not okay.
What percentage of students at your high school would you say are migrants that have recently came into the United States?
I'd say like 60%. The top floor, the classes would literally be filled with Haitians. Every single classroom. No white people, no nothing. It was just Haitians. And I know that for a fact because the translators would be in there. That's where the translators are.
And are the rumors true that they have eaten cats and dogs of people here?
I've not seen it myself, but our geese population down here at the park, it's went way, way, way down. Before, when you drove in the park.
Woo! Adapted Mind Math! Come explore the site with me. I'm in first.
you know, you would have to stop and let the geese come across, you know, sit there for 2, 3, 4 minutes. And, you know, it's like I tell everybody now, you can fly through there like NASCAR track. You know, I understand why they leave their country because we've been watching it on YouTube about their country. But, you know, to drop like 20,000 on us and, you know, then they get all these money, get all the money, the new cars, the houses.
What kind of money and what kind of cars? Or describe kind of the benefits that they are getting here.
I don't know exactly what kind of money they get, but I've been reading on the Crime Monitor that Dole, they brought them in, paying their rent, making sure, you know, they got a way back and forth to work and that stuff.
And how much do you think they're paying them? Cheaper than Americans?
Yeah, diversity staffing up on High Street. Don't know if you guys have heard about that or not.
DEI or what? So,
diversity.
Yeah.
Staffing. I guess they're only paying them like $12.50 an hour.
Sounds like there is some truth to some of the rumors that are being spread on the internet.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's all rumors. Some of it may be, but most of it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why would we want to lie? We live here, and it's our town, community, and, you know, why should we lie about it?
When the new...
And that's my main point. You know, people are saying that we're lying. Okay, fine. I don't live in Springfield. I don't live in Charleroi. But what about the people that do live there that are talking about it? I've seen with my own eyeballs a few different town hall meetings from Springfield. I started with a town hall meeting from Springfield with Vivek Ramaswamy or whatever his last name is. He went there and he's talking with the local people, the people who are there, supposed to be there, and they've got complaints. This man, yes, he looks like he eats wild game himself, but maybe we America weren't targeting the wildlife the way that it's being targeted now. I'm sorry, I'm gonna let y'all know right now that I know some people eat squirrel and I know some people eat rabbit. You know, like people from here eat squirrel and rabbit. I would be so hurt if we came home and the outside squirrels that we've gotten used to over the past few years, or the rabbit that I think has made a home here over the past couple of years, if they weren't there anymore, I'd be so sad because they're like part of the community. No, I'm not feeding them, but this is their home, right? Are we so entitled as people that we don't allow nature to just be doing what it's supposed to do? Or are we people who are saying, oh, that's not my kitchen, not my mess, not my dishes, not my mess, not my circus, not my animals? You know, we're having all of these, well, I'm not the one doing it, so I don't need to worry about it type of thing. Because that's how you become complacent. That's how things just continue to happen. Under the radar, on the radar, above the radar. Y'all don't give a shit. So when the pigeons started going away, nobody said anything. I haven't seen a fucking pigeon in 10 years. And that bothers me. Because who did it? I watched a video of these seemingly Spanish speakers at their job. It was some sort of construction job. And the man had 2 pigeons straight holding them by their neck. And the people he's sitting with at the table, they're looking at him like, yo, you can't do that right here. So then he puts the pigeons under the table. And he's looking at them like, what? Why? I caught him. They're not nobody's pet. I can't eat it. You can't just hunt the birds. No, you can't just hunt the birds. I mean, I guess you can just hunt the birds, but I grew up learning that the geese, the Canadian geese that we have here, they eat anything from cigarette butts to anything. And the pigeons were the same way. And now the pigeons are gone. The geese are supposedly also going, and we don't even have our natural trash pickup people. We don't even have our natural trash pickup things happening anymore. No, I don't think that geese should be the trash cleaners of the community. But I mean, if they were already eating trash and shit, then it wasn't killing them. What now? Now we have to rely on the actual sanitation people to clean up the roads. Okay. But if they're not getting paid enough, then who's going to do the job? People who can't read the signs on the road? They better leave them wild turkeys alone. I believe it, Dark Knight, because they said Thanksgiving's coming up and I'm not going to Food Lion. I'm not going to Shoppers. I'm not going to Harris Teeter and get me a turkey. I'm going to just go hunt one. And our wild turkey, our scavengers, they're not used to being hunted. They're used to being left alone. Okay. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
The news came out when Donald Trump was in the debate when he said they're eating the cats and dogs. And you guys living here in Springfield, Ohio, listen to national news. What was your guys' initial reaction?
Well, see, the same night that debate was on, they had a meeting up here at the town hall. And, and everybody blames Trump and Vance for getting that started. No, it didn't get started from them. Just telling the truth.
What's the priority, would you say, between Americans, homeless Americans, veterans, and then the migrants?
Well, the veterans and the homeless, honestly, they get treated like shit.
I was going to try to go back to the Haitian who said that America needs us. But we're the only people working. We're not lazy. Okay, how do we have a people problem, a people not working problem, when we've got people who don't have jobs, who have been told that they're overqualified, who will not get hired because they want a livable wage? What about those people? I just don't understand how the government can act so concerned and then do these things. And then the American people just eat it. Do y'all not recall your forefathers dumping tea into the harbor? I mean, shit, do you not recall the American Revolution? Like, white people and black people in this land have been fighting the entire time this country has been in existence. So to roll over and take it now, I mean, is this where we are? Are we in Kamala's America already? Where we just roll over and take it? Is that the American way? Let me tell you right now, if somebody tried to come take my dog, well, I think she'd probably have some things to say about that. But damn, I mean, I can't even let my dog outside because people might come and take her. One of my friends in Texas, they had some puppies go missing. And maybe it was just because the puppies are, breeds that people like. But what if they weren't? What if this was a foreshadow to now? Because those same friends that I have in Texas, they also have been victims of illegals crashing cars and not having to pay for any of it. Like, they're actually the ones having to pay for things. And you're right, Dark Knight, how did we ever function without illegals? I mean, I hate to sound like a bigot. Just kidding. I don't really give a shit. No, back in my day, there was blacks and there was whites. And you might have a fucking Mexican. You might have a fucking Asian. Might. This was back in the day when them niggas was called Orientals and wetbacks and beaners. And oh, Eve, you're being so mean. And I'm sorry. If you had to cross a fucking river to get over here, your back is wet. Wet back. If you eat rice and beans all the goddamn time, you a beaner. But I'm not allowed to say stuff like that because it's just so mean. No, what's mean is having to share things with people who are stealing from us. So they get to steal and we have to share? No. So boom, check it. America, if you're comfortable with what we've got going on, then go ahead. Vote blue no matter who. Vote blue down the ballot. Just continue to fuck yourself out of existence. But don't look at the rest of us like you need help when Kamala's America kicks you out of your house because they need to make an opportunity for everybody. Dark Knight, they are turning us into bigots, and it's not my fault or your fault. We should be able to have a response that makes sense. I mean, we have the First Amendment right now. Right now, while it is the freedom to speak our minds, we should be able to speak these words unapologetically. Because if you get to come over here and I have to press 1 for English, fuck you. If you get to come over here and not have to have credit, but you're out here driving a 2021, 2022, if you're driving a better car than me and you don't speak English, fuck you. And I'm talking to all of you, because you really carry ass. Really, truly. People who don't want to follow the rules, they could just go home, right? They really could just go home. But they won't. The Dominican Republic doesn't even want Haitians there, and they're the country right the fuck next door. So I'm sorry if you think that I'm being mean, but they're a little far from home. And since they're a little far from home talking about how not lazy they are, then it sounds like they need to take their asses back home. Get the job done there, and then maybe we can have a conversation. Spirit Wander, definitely people need to Google Operation Wetback. You know, they say Trump is prejudiced, he's mean, he's racist, he's this, he's that. And okay, yeah, he is one of them. But he's the ones of them that they don't even like because they can't control him. And I say that we've got some work to do. Or maybe you've already done the thing and you are going to be somebody that has some questions to answer, because I promise you, anybody who votes for Kamala's ticket, y'all are going to have to be the ones that answer the questions about what have they done for America that makes sense. It's going to be y'all, because they're not going to answer any questions. It took Kamala all the way to 32 days before the election before she starts answering questions, and her answers don't even make sense. Until next time, y'all have a good afternoon.